Hello, everyone. So, recent developments have happened where Joe Biden and his son Hunter Biden have now had leaked emails. And from our understanding, it was because Hunter Biden decided to leave an old computer at a repair shop. And apparently, the repair shop person actually saw some emails that seemed a little bit questionable, and he informed the FBI. So now, apparently, the FBI has these emails. So now what comes of this? Here's a story from the New York Post, and we'll run it by you. Smoking gun email reveals how Hunter Biden introduced Ukrainian businessman to Vice President dad. Hunter Biden introduced his father, the then Vice President Joe Biden, to a top executive at a Ukrainian energy firm less than a year before the elder Biden pressured government officials in Ukraine into firing a prosecutor who was investigating the company, according to the emails obtained by the Post. So he tried to stop an investigation on himself in another country. The never-before-revealed meeting is mentioned in a message of appreciation in Vadim Polsharsky, excuse me if I get the name wrong, an advisor to the board of Burisma, allegedly sent Hunter Biden on April 17th of 2015, about a year after Hunter joined the Burisma board at a reported salary of up to $50,000 a month. Quote, "Dear Hunter, thank you for inviting me to DC and giving an opportunity to meet your father and spend some time together. It's really an honor and pleasure," the email reads. An earlier email from May 2014 also shows Polsharsky reporting Burisma's number 3 exec asking Hunter for, quote, "advice on how you could use your influence on the company's behalf." That's saying everything you need to say. Could you use your influence? This is the equivalent of pro quo. But we read on. The blockbuster correspondence, which flies in the face of Joe Biden's claim that he's, quote, "never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings," and again, here's proof that he did in fact know these things. He actually met with both of them, and it seems pretty obvious. Is contained in a massive trove of data recovered from a laptop computer, and they post the picture of it. The computer was dropped off at a repair shop in Biden's home state of Delaware in April 2019, according to the store's owner. Other material extracted from the computer includes a raunchy 12-minute video that appears to show Hunter, who's admitted struggling with addiction problems before, smoking crack while engaged in a sex act with an unidentified woman, as well as numerous other sexually explicit images. The customer who bought in the water-damaged MacBook Pro for repair never paid for the service or retrieved it or hard drive on which its contents were stored, according to the shop owner, who said he tried repeatedly to contact the client. The shop owner couldn't positively identify the customer as Hunter Biden, but said the laptop bore a sticker from the Beau Biden Foundation, named after Hunter's late brother and former Delaware Attorney General. Photos of a Delaware federal subpoena given to the Post show that both the computer and the hard drive were seized by the FBI in December, after the shop's owner says he alerted the feds to their existence. So they've actually had these things for quite some time, and now are starting to release the info on them. And here is the subpoena. But before turning over the gear, the shop owner says he made a copy of the hard drive and later gave it to former Mayor Rudy Giuliani's lawyer, Robert Costello. Steve Bannon, former advisor to President Trump, told the Post about the existence of the hard drive in late September, and Giuliani provided the Post with a copy of it on Sunday. Less than 8 months after Polsharsky thanked Hunter Biden for the introduction to his dad, the then vice president admittedly pressured Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko and Prime Minister Arseniy Yatsenyuk into getting rid of Prosecutor General Viktor Shokin by threatening to withhold $1 billion U.S. loan guarantee during a December 2015 trip to Kiev. Quote, "I looked at them and said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor is not fired, you're not getting the money," Biden infamously bragged to the Council on Foreign Relations in 2018. And that was all over the news. It was all over the net. He admitted that. And even in some speaking campaigns, he admits that people give you money and it's not really actually doing anything wrong. but you do rub their back because they're rubbing yours. Or leg hairs in Joe Biden's case. Quote, well, son of a bitch, he got fired. Shulkin has said that at the time of this firing in March 2016, he'd made specific plans to investigate Burisma, quote, that included interrogations and other crime investigation procedures and all members of the executive board, including Hunter Biden. Joe Biden has insisted that the U.S. wanted Shulkin removed over corruption concerns, which were shared by the European Union. So even Joe Biden has been concerned with the European Union and the people that he's been dealing with as well. So they are obviously up to stuff in the other side of the world. They are attempting to be globalists coming from America, so to speak. That's what you're going to get with Joe Biden, more globalism, more communist tendencies that run all the way across the board. And he has a list of liberals that he has to give them commiserate pay for their work. In other words, later on, they're going to want to pass the Green New Deal their way, and they're going to want to do things their way. And he's going to have one heck of a balancing act if he ever had a chance to become president to begin with. Meanwhile, an email dated May 12, 2014, shortly after Hunter Biden joined the Burisma board, shows Polisarski attempting to get him to use his political leverage to help the company. The message had the subject line, quote, urgent issue, and was also sent to Hunter Biden's business partner, Devon Archer, who also sat on the Burisma board at the time. When the alleged shakedown failed, quote, they proceeded with concrete actions in the form of, quote, one more trial proceedings, Polisarski wrote. Quote, we urgently need your advice on how you could use your influence to convey a message / signal, etc. to stop what we consider to be politically motivated actions, he added. So again, you're trying to shut someone up, but you need to use your influence to do so. And this is your essential pro quo as well as your quid pro quo. And this is the thing that they tried to get Trump on, which is really ironic because here we're seeing it all in an email unfold. Hunter Biden responded by saying he was with Archer in Doha, Qatar, and asked for more information about the, quote, formal, if any, accusations being made against Burisma. Quote, who is ultimately behind these attacks on the company? Who in the current interim government could put an end to such attacks, he added. The exchange came the same day that Burisma announced that it had expanded its board of directors by adding Hunter Biden, who was put in charge of its, quote, legal unit and will provide support for the company among international organizations, according to the news release that's since been subbed from Burisma's website. So they took that down. There's been enough bad juju that Burisma wanted to take that down. That or Biden is busy trying to cover his tracks now that there's actual attention put on it. Obviously, they wouldn't be taking anything down if they felt righteous about it or that they were in their right with it. Hunter Biden actually joined the board in April 2014, according to multiple reports. His lawyer said last year that Hunter was, quote, not a member of the management team, adding, quote, at no time was Hunter in charge of the company's legal affairs. And I asked the question here, what does it matter if he was in charge of anything? He was still receiving a check or money put into his account to the tune of $50,000 a month, which is incredibly large amount for somebody who's just showing up at the door. I wonder why he's getting $50,000 to be there per month if all he has to add to his repertoire is that his daddy is the VP of the United States. But we read on. About 4 months after Hunter Biden's correspondence with Polisarski, Archer forwarded Hunter Biden with an email chain with the subject line, quote, tax raise impact on Burisma production, which included Polisarski saying that the Ukrainian cabinet had submitted new tax legislation to the country's parliament. Quote, if enacted, this law would kill the entire private gas production sector in the bud, Polisarski wrote. In the September 24, 2014 email, Polisarski also said he was, quote, going to share his information with the U.S. Embassy here in Kiev, as well as the office of Mr. Amos Hochstein in the States. At the time, Hochstein was the State Department's newly appointed special envoy and coordinator for international energy affairs. In December 2017, the Naftogaz Group, Ukraine's state-owned energy company, announced that Hochstein had joined the company as an independent director, but on Monday he announced his resignation. Quote, the company has been forced to spend endless amounts of time combating political pressure and efforts by oligarchs to enrich themselves through questionable transactions, Hochstein wrote in an op-ed published by the Kiev Post. So here's the thing. People are actually coming out saying that people from other countries are kind of taking over, and we've been saying this about certain other people from other countries taking over what's in your country. We've talked about Tom Hanks going into another country while they're on lockdown, while their own people are on lockdown, and filming a show. We've talked about Hunter Biden traveling the world and getting free rides because his father happens to be the VP. We've seen George Soros continuously over the years attack America, admit to it, and spend billions on it. So it's really there. The attack on America is really true, and I think we're going to see more of it no matter what we do until we take these people out of our country. The allowance of these people being here, and the same thing goes for other countries. People like Joe Biden should not have that kind of influence. Again, it's a job that somebody else over there could have had, but because of political interference, a United States citizen got it instead. So you can see how bad this really is. It really is a pro quo type of deal. But we read on. In addition to denying that he's spoken to Hunter Biden about his overseas business dealings, Joe Biden has repeatedly denied any conflict of interest or wrongdoing by either of them involving Burisma. Of course. He's a politician and he wants to be president so he can wipe all this under the rug. And just like Hillary, he's hoping that the presidency of the United States will save him in a court of law later on. Last February, he got testy during an appearance of NBC's, quote, Today Show, when co-host Savannah Guthrie questioned whether it was, quote, wrong for Hunter to take that position, knowing that it was really because that company wanted access to you. That's a very good question, honestly. Quote, well, that's not true. You're saying things that you do not know what you're talking about, the elder Biden responded. And there's a picture of the famous guy there. He's oh so intelligent, and he's just helping his daddy's campaign out. I mean, honestly, it's night or day with the Trump family and the Biden family. The Biden family is just, look, it's visibly messed up, and that's just the way it is. And unfortunately, the Bidens have to deal with it. Last December, Joe Biden also lashed out during a Democratic primary town hall event in Iowa where a man accused him of sending Hunter to Ukraine, quote, to get a job and work for a gas company. He had no experience with gas or nothing in order to get access to the president. And Joe Biden, of course, responds with, quote, you're a damn liar, man. That's not true, and no one's ever said that. Yeah, a whole bunch of people said that. And I think that's you fighting back on things that were said. Quote, Biden then continued berating the man as he stepped forward, calling the man, quote, fat, and challenged him to do push-ups together, man, as if Biden himself can do that many push-ups anyway. The FBI referred questions about its seizure to the laptop and hard drive to the Delaware U.S. Attorney's Office, where a spokesperson said, quote, my office can neither confirm nor deny the existence of an investigation. Hunter Biden's lawyer refused to comment on the specifics, but instead attacked Giuliani. Quote, he has been pushing widely discredited conspiracy theories about the Biden family, openly relying on actors tied to Russian intelligence, the lawyer George R. Mesrides said of Giuliani. And it seems like the pot calling the kettle black here. It's kind of funny. The Democrats actually believe that their Steele dossier, born from Russia intelligence, that can't even be confirmed nor denied. They believed in it so wholeheartedly that they wanted to go down the route of impeachment of a president of the United States. But here we're having just Joe Biden's son have accusations thrown his way. And it's a discredited conspiracy theory that relies on actors of Russian intelligence. That's just how the Democrats roll. You can trust the Russians when the information's in your favor. When the information is not in your favor, it is just discredited conspiracy theory. Polzarski and the Joe Biden campaign did not return requests for comment. Hochstein could not be reached. And that's the end of the article. It's a really good article. I suggest everybody check it out. We're going to go ahead and post it, but it probably, from our understanding, is probably going to be knocked down. YouTube, Google, etc. is not letting this get out. They're trying to say that it's some sort of deep state fakery. That's kind of hackish to believe that at this point, because there's not enough information out there to credit this as action or something that is actually real yet. But with it being dropped off with the FBI, with that confirmation, there probably is indeed mail at this point that they have their hands on. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful afternoon, a good morning, a good night, whichever. Please like, share, and subscribe. We really do appreciate that around here. Also, drop a comment down below. We like to talk with you. We like to pick your brain. And if you have any ideas for new videos, drop us a line down below. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell. If you don't hit the notification bell, sometimes the videos won't get out to you. God bless each and every one of you. See ya.